know the dirty money hoe, not my draws. Weed got me moving slower than my draw. I'm unapologetically raw.
I still feel limitless, water with lemon juice. A king, I really seen it. The mother ones fear the truth. My chick might be a Leah, mixed with Snide. My kicks might be Adidas. I live off of vibration. Just press record, dog, on everything I'm saying. Unless you the police, might sound like the crime raging. My dope is out of control. The fake niggas out of your foe. Eat with the ones you gotta with when you's out in the cold. Sun be blessing my soul. Swear be spiritual. God bless
Episode
material.
26
Promise
of
to
the
always stay
Randy Wilson
lyrical. Purple
podcast,
mind, but
being brought to you today by our sponsor, Randolph Focus. We are at Gather, located at 303 East Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia. Sitting down with the hip-hop emperor of the city, Mike Millions.
Peace. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Mike. Today's show is going to be themed King to Emperor.
Oh.
And we look forward to getting into that today. It was some music of yours I heard. I don't remember what the song was, but I heard you use the word emperor, and then I just recently heard Ross use the word emperor, and I started thinking about emperor. You know, obviously it's hard to be king, but some of the things we're going to talk about today in this show, I feel like you moving past king status to emperor status of the city now, and we're going to talk about what that means. Let me just go and get into that. I try to pride myself on these intros. I want to be the sway of the new sway. You know what I'm saying? So like, why I say it's Hard to Be King was one of Mike's albums. Okay, for y'all who may not know, in his discography he has other albums. If you want to go check him out, if you're just learning about him today, Beautiful and Ghost of $20 Bills is what I'm most familiar with. There may be other projects that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, there are other projects out there, but you gotta go to Bandcamp to get like the full discography. Some of them are on streaming sites.
Got you. So, why did I theme this show from King to Emperor? Is because Mike's been doing this for a minute, but Mike's been doing when you look at the collective of the things that Mike has done, first off, there's not a lot of artists in the city, and I'm talking about the Emperor of Virginia, Richmond, Richmond, Virginia hip-hop, but not just Richmond, Virginia hip-hop. I'm giving this Emperor status because Michael has a mural in the city. Michael has been referenced in Source magazine, XXL, all of the local magazines, The Grid, Style, Richmond Mag. I mean, he's been highly publicized as a Virginia artist. He opened up for Nas this year recently. That was like a gift to the city. It was about Mike, but it was about Richmond so much that night. Mm-hmm. Mike being one part of the collective AGM, also curator of Purple Republic Music Group. He's a part of a collective with his brother named Brand, who is a phenomenal producer in the state of Virginia. Nicole Hendricks, Radio B, and Nicholas F. Anybody I'm leaving out of that group?
Easy Leo. Radio B, Nicholas Seth, Cole Hicks. That's the core artist, Frank.
Yeah.
And Marseille and them,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the core artist, though.
Yeah, this is a songwriter, hip hop artist, MC, and I want to emphasize MC, and engineer. As popular as Mike is as an artist, everybody goes to Mike for him to mix and master their projects. I think most recently, and again, I'm just the internet, I be nosy, but it appeared to me that you recently engineered the 2019 wrap up from Skills. Is that correct?
Yeah. I've been working with Skills for a while now. So
yeah. Been on one of Skills' tracks before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of artists who can say they have, and Mike's one of those artists. Not only that, Mike, and again, as I'm kind of closing out the introduction, I want to be really nosy today to learn about whatever was going on when you and DJ Green Lantern was together, because to me that was cool. Super. I seen DJ. First off, I recognized that was Green. It took me a while to recognize that was Green Lantern on stage with Nas.
Right.
And let's just get into that, because let's go there, because when you opened up for Nas, if I'm correct, that was such a fast-paced, moving situation. Did you get a chance to chop it up with Nas, or?
Nah, not really. I mean, nothing outside of just like just quick link up, dap
Yeah.
up, and keep it moving. Because we was kind of both doing the same thing at the same time. There was people backstage that was waiting to see me, and there was people waiting to see him. And it was I guess the coincidence of it, but or the irony of us doing the same thing. But it was real brief, nothing too crazy. I ended up talking to one of his guards later, and they was like, yeah, yo, I'm glad you performed the joints you performed. We were listening to them joints on the bus and stuff, so I was like, oh, that's fire. But that was just like a thing. But other than that, that whole night was just like you said, it was one for the city though. Like that wasn't really even about me.
It was a Monday night, I believe, right? It was a Tuesday night. I just know whatever night it was of the week, we hadn't had a night like that.
Nah, it never been. I really, I'm a real chill dude, like, and I appreciate, like, all the, kind things you said, but, like, I'm a real just down-to-earth dude, and, like, I'm just thankful for the things I've, like, been able to see and experience, and more so just, like, how people feel about me, like, the connections I have with people are genuine. So it's, like, it does, I understand that goes a long way, but being an artist, and someone that's seen this game for such a long time, I just want to make sure that, like, I represent, the era that I come from, the era, like, what I've seen. Like, I can't just act like we had all this type of access before in our life or any of that, It's like, nah, like, Richmond artists don't really even play the national in that fashion, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it might just be like, you might have paid some money and that's how that happened. Nah, this wasn't one of those things. And I felt that was really more about the city. So I want, and I just wanted to make sure I went up there and made sure I gave people an experience that they could, like, go, say they was there to see,
Yeah, you did. Ill Style said something on on the Quarter to the Mill, his recent album.
Yeah, great album. Great album.
One of the best albums of the year.
Definitely.
He said something, and I feel like you kind of just said, and I feel like it's a reflection of the era that we're from. We're from an era where, you're not really in front of cameras, and privacy is important, and we're from that era, but life has evolved and changed to an era where it's like, being present and being visible is a big deal. And one of the things that I think that's interesting about you is the value that you have but at the same time, you're not overly visible. You don't overly post, okay? Nah. You are one of the only people I know that has a blue check, and it ain't like you got 50,000 followers. And to me, that's a reflection of the value in the engagement that you have with your audience.
Yeah, like, I'm definitely a Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? My birthday is in the middle of November, so, like, privacy and, like, just being able to have a particular level of control over my life is very important to me. So it's like, I don't really feed into, like, social media, like, or, like, I see what people get out of it. I understand that, but, like, I get that out of doing something art. So, like, I don't particularly need social media to feed that piece or that void that I might be looking for. I can do it through music. So, like, I don't overly post. You might actually see more people posting pictures with me in my crib before I even show you, like, people, I probably won't even post. I might go on live for a little bit and delete the joint after, but I'm like, I'm super chill. It's like,
I mean, I sit back and very intentional on behalf of being a critic and observe and try to listen and my background's in psychology, so I try to read and figure things out with people. And that's the thing with you. I mean, I've been following your music for a while, but that's the thing to me that shows the most value. It's like when you're not overly pressing the market, but when you produce something, or when you make a post, or when you release a song, it's valuable, and it speaks to how the media also obviously respects you because everyone. There's a lot of people. Man, I know people. I think it was Socket just got his blue check. He got 100,000 followers. You know, like your people recognize you.
I just that it just be I think just people, if you're doing the right things with your art and you move in the right way, like you get put in, the universe will put you in positions where they just for you. I'm just a believer of like what's for people is for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it doesn't matter like if a person got 100,000 followers or like 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
It's really like you said, it could be the right person in the right place to say like, yo, I actually, you know what I mean? Like we like this guy. We know of this guy enough to say, hey, let's elevate his social status here or whatever. So I mean, but it really boils down to art. Like a lot of times, I think I listen to interviews with artists, and they give out like a lot of information about like how to keep hustling through the music or like how to keep grinding to get noticed, and like no one really say like focus on the music, like make some music that actually resonates with people. You know what I'm saying? That's really where it starts. Like, and that's what I'm on. Like I wish I had advice and stuff. Like I wish I had advice for artists, but my only thing is like, yo, how often are you working on your music?
Yeah.
Like, how often are you in the gym working on the craft of music? Like some people are only practicing music 15 minutes a week or 30 minutes a month. You know what I'm saying? But like they may get into some other things like they may watch TV for like 60 hours a month. Yeah. But still gonna say, yo, I'm a rapper or I'm an artist.
And,
like, no,
and on IG all day.
You watch TV. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do all day.
Yeah.
You practice this long.
Yeah.
And then you want results that you want to last your lifetime. Yeah. That's not even, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I try to encourage artists just to, dive into that a bit more. And your results will yield what you put in. Yeah. You know?
So go ahead and tell us, how did you, was a seed planted that night that connected you and Green Lantern? I'm interested in learning about what you all got going on. Like, did y'all do some music together?
Yeah.
We just waiting. It
was just like, Green Lantern. I introduced myself to a homie that night, but I was told to introduce myself to him by a mutual homie. Okay. So they would, it was just like, oh, you in Richmond? Let me connect the dot.
Yeah.
Like, and Mike, Mike Nas on the same bill. Oh,
yeah.
Green on. Nah, you gotta link it up with family. Yeah. So that was how that link, that went down. And of course, like they watched the show and, they asked me to be a part of this. It wasn't like it wasn't a thing where it wasn't like it was they asked. So they were checking for me. So when they were passing back through while they was on tour, Nas and them were downtown, like maybe a few weeks later, maybe about 4 weeks later, 3 weeks later, something like that. Yeah, about 3 weeks later. And Green was like, yo, I want to get in the studio, yo. And he hit me up and we went straight into we went out to eat. Yeah. We went to the mall for a second, and then we like spent like 10 hours in the studio. I dropped them off at the tour bus because they were late getting back. All their stuff was already on the bus.
What was Nas doing?
Yo, he was chilling. He was actually kind of mad he didn't roll with them, but he was chilling.
Dang.
He had called, and I guess he was asking Green where he had went, and he told him. He was like, damn, I should have won with y'all. Yeah. He was like, but I'm chilling. I'll probably just rest up or whatever. But I was like, man, Nas could come through too. If you feel like if you know what I'm saying. But
come through and get some of this Purple Republic.
Yeah, man. So we kicked it. He actually plugged up, was making beats. He called in an artist. He had not only was Green Lantern there, but Nas's drummer, Eddie Cole. No.
Yeah, we getting Jules
Last
here.
name Cole. Damn, I don't want to say Eddie Cole. Forgive me.
It'll come
man.
to you. It'll
I don't-
come.
Last name. I know Cole.
Nas's drummer, most important.
Yeah,
Y'all know.
Nas's drummer on that tour. I'm drawing a blank on my man's name too, and I just reached out to him. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
he was that Nas's drummer was there as well, and
I bet y'all got some. So you got
yeah, so we
you
did
got
a
some
record
projects.
together, and we listened to some beats and really just soaked up game. But we worked on a record. He called in another artist named Eric J, and he's a phenomenal guitarist, singer. So he drove up from the beach that night, and we just worked on records. Yo, we just did some joints together.
His name brand in the building.
Name Brand was there for sure. Like
Yeah.
he was there the whole time, like, making sure, we was pressing the right buttons and he was working on records himself and
So can we anticipate can we anticipate some new music soon? Is this gonna be in this some of the music you did with Lennon part of the project?
I mean, I probably won't be in control of the music that was produced from that particular session due
Okay.
to some the reasons why we were writing some of the music and what that was for. So I do look forward to some of the music being released when it is released in
Got you.
place. But as far as working with Green Lantern, yeah, I definitely plan to work with Green in the future. I don't know, if it'll be on this particular album or some one-off pieces that I plan to release, but definitely gonna work with Green Lantern on some new stuff.
You've had a lot of successful, as I referenced, in the introduction. I mean, you've accomplished a lot. What things stand out? What things to you stand out at the top? And
As
on
far
the
as
flip side,
accomplishments?
and on the flip side, what things are kind of the most challenging, difficult things that you've had to overcome that I guess that you've learned from?
I think, I know this gonna sound cheesy, but I'm a father, yo. I think my best accomplishments was like really anytime my daughter seen me perform. Like
Yeah.
any of those times.
Yeah.
Like, any of those moments are all the same. Like they're the best accomplishments. Anything I get to do in front of my child as far as like, with the art, with the music, like that's the best accomplishment.
Yeah.
So that could be a performance. It could have been this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's just real important for us as Black fathers to like show ourselves in these lights where, this is what we
Yeah.
do with our dreams. Like for Black fathers that dream hard and we got these goals, like sometimes you gotta show that it's possible to like live off the things you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But as far as like some people will look at me getting in a mirror or playing the Nas joint as these things called or being in magazines. We did magazines and blogs. We was doing those when they was when it was relevant and when it was hard to get on a blog. We was right there. Like, but I wouldn't consider those accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do want a Grammy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to live like a real emperor for real.
Yeah.
Off this. Like, I'm not afraid to say I want to get filthy rich out.
Yeah.
Of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I know we could do it. I think Richmond artists specifically can do great things and for a large mass of people. We've
Yes.
been doing that. Like
Yes.
it's in our DNA as Virginians to provide for the country
Yes.
all of this flavor we got here. We've been doing that. So I think it's in our DNA to like reap some of them rewards,
Yeah.
and really do it here and make people say, I want to come to Virginia because that's how people living out there. Like you might, we don't got no, we won't be seeing enough Ferraris riding up and down Broad Street.
Yeah.
But we should inspire that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Inspire us living more out here, in our land instead
Yeah.
of having to go to like
Elsewhere.
Vegas
Yeah.
or and it's really not about that, but I'm really saying more so like where we bringing the energy here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus
Yeah.
taking the energy somewhere else.
I think you gave us a taste of that with that Nas show.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's that really is. It's not might have been the first one here, but it's definitely not gonna be the last now.
It's not typical. It's not. That wasn't that. Yeah.
Well, even from that though, like
Mm-hmm.
not to switch over too much, but I mean, as a fan of Richmond hip hop, as a fan of Virginia hip hop period, we was fortunate enough to be a part of you opening up for Nas,
Yeah.
and now we're experiencing the opportunity to be a part of Nicholas F. on the big stage at Something in the Water,
Yeah,
and again,
major.
as big as that is, it's not just Nicholas F. because that's Richmond going
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
stage.
It's
You gonna be on the
definitely.
stage, radio gonna be on the stage. I'm sure
Yes.
DJ Banger gonna be on the stage. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna
man.
bang out.
We're going. I mean, but and that's what it is. Is it definitely. It's us, like the us doing it. But I know Nick. I know
Yeah.
Nick in his heart.
Yeah.
He know he got to do it one time for Richmond.
Oh, for
you know what I
sure.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
like we all doing it because we know the city deserve it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like we could have been left. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's the
A lot of
the
people
super
go-
truth.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Everyone
we coulda
going to
been
Cali.
left and, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and we've all had our runs where we done left for a while, came back,
Yeah.
left for a while, came back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we seen it out there. Fortunately, we've been able to use our music to help us see a little bit. But like, man, people will tell you, man, Virginia, Richmond, we got it.
Yeah.
From the art to the food. I'm sorry.
Just make sure you tilt up.
We
You
good?
You good? Just make sure it's on the pick it up a little bit, baby. You good?
Yeah, from the art to the food to the music,
Yeah.
to the creators.
Yeah.
All of this stuff spawns these other things. Like now, people like you have an opportunity to have people like me sit down and we talk.
Yeah.
And we tell each other stories.
Yeah.
Like all of this comes from people just working
Yeah.
and like pushing and growing what we have. Like, so now we have these outlets. I want to see people write books. Like,
Yeah.
we need more authors coming out now.
Check
we
it.
got
I mean,
painters and stuff.
let me tell you what, brother. You've been I knew radio. I've been here like 16 years. So I remember when Nicholas was on beat. I remember that. That was about that long. I remember that. But I met radio first because I frequented Versus. Being in the same era as far as age, generation. First off, within the black community, I think a lot of times we struggle as a culture of people, and particularly men, at kind of giving other people their due. You know what I'm saying? Showing the love, giving them the flowers now, showing respect. It's like we so, guarded, macho. Some of it's a result of trauma, but the reality of it is that I have no problem saying, I don't want to use the word groupie because that's I don't like that word. But if I'm gonna look at a collective of artists and pay my respects and homage, it's gonna be the collective group that you guys have for a few reasons. One, age. The music in regard to what you guys put out is more compatible with my interest and from the same age, like you know what I'm saying. It's hard for me to understand what some of these much younger artists are saying. Honestly, I feel I must be old. Like I'm just learning. Like okay, I'm listening for the words. I need to get with the sound because it's about different things in music.
It's always gonna be that, right? Like when we was younger,
Yeah.
there was music that we just didn't understand. We might not have liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, but there was always the music that we did like available.
Yeah.
So like, sometimes we just get a little distorted. Like we call it the young music because we don't understand it. But really, like there are youngins out there that's making really crazy music, like really
It's
great
the future,
music.
and it's the future.
So it's like it's a thing. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
And but the beautiful thing about hip hop is hip hop. As long as Hov keep getting older,
Yeah.
hip hop keeps getting older.
Yeah.
So
it's the truth.
the listeners. Some people used to say hip hop was a young person's thing, but it's not no more.
Yeah.
Like it's being taught in the colleges. Like I'm going to speak at schools more about being an independent artist. Like what? I went to college for mass communications, film and journalism, and they was bringing like news people in and people that was on the radio, and they tell you about work. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now I'm coming in, I'm telling these people about like, yo, yeah. You want to be an artist? Then
Yeah.
it's cool. You know,
Yeah.
like wow, why yet? It's growing outside of this. You know, it's no longer this childish thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we recognize it as a part of like real life and real culture. We're gonna speak on this subject. Like skills is back for I think what is this? The second or third year
Yeah,
at U of R.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're teaching at a college.
Yeah.
Mad skills.
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't want to assume, but I don't think he has a college education in whatever he's teaching.
I would.
He
I want to say. He might
I mean,
have,
he might have an education in whatever, but he's teaching hip hop.
but it does,
You know,
right.
There's no
He has
doctoral studies yet, but it will be as a
doctor.
result of this.
Right, and I believe if it becomes a study, it'd be beautiful to see certain artists become doctors
Oh yeah.
in the study. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
In the craft of it, because you know, in our joint,
Emperor,
like
I think you get an honorable, doctorate as an emperor. You can't.
Try to get it. I'm
Yeah.
definitely trying to get like, I tell my mom, I might not ever become a doctor. She's a hygienist.
Okay.
And I'm like, I might not ever become a doctor, because that's how, in life we go through and we change our names. You might,
Yeah.
If you become a doctor, you're Doctor such and such.
Yeah.
Or, if you're in the military, you get, major or lieutenant colonel in front of your name, But in music, like what we after is like Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
I'm not saying after, but those are the things that change our names up where
Yeah.
and they never address you the same. You might be on Good Morning America and they would say Grammy nominated artist Michael Millions or
Yeah.
Grammy Award winning artist. You know what I mean? I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
You obviously, I'm going to assume that you respect the Grammy as being the top award
respect
recognition
it
in
for
music.
what I respect it for what it is to music, not
Yeah.
really what it represents on the inner workings.
Yeah,
But
historically,
like,
it
it's
is.
like I like what it is. You know what I'm saying? I wish more people would actually educate themselves on the Grammy process or
Yeah.
how the Grammys actually work.
Yeah.
And if they did, it's a lot like voting and it's a lot like being a part of something. But if you don't know how these things are voted on or how to be involved with the process to even have your vote accepted or your opinions accepted about what music you think was good, then we leave it up to other folks. But I think if more people knew about the process and what went on,
Yeah.
we'd see a lot more changes in the music that we actually love and support, or artists that
I mean, I think there's
should
a lot
be
of
nominated.
the fact that you can have a German or Italian or French, whatever. Like the Grammys is you can get a Grammy award, but it also can be subgroup based off
Yeah,
country
you
and
get a
culture.
Grammy for
And you in the BET award is not so much. I mean, you can get a hip hop BET award, and you can be from another place, but
Yeah.
it's basically an
I just
Americanized.
I like the idea of having a musical standing.
Yeah.
It's also like being able to, down the line and like where I'm like where I'm like 60 something or like close to 70, and
Yeah.
they're like, yo, Mike, we appreciate what you did. We want to throw you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's that forever thing, like where they can't really take away from you. You know what I mean? Where you here and you're just a part of just musical American history. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
saying that makes me feel like it piggybacking off something I heard Joe Budden say one time. Like hip hop, in its own respects, needs some governance.
yeah, definitely,
know,
definitely.
it needs-
I could go for that.
Yeah,
I could
because
go
it
for
needs
that.
a voice. I mean, politicians are already using the voices of hip hop artists to, penetrate a certain demographic so that they can get votes.
Yeah, I've worked with two campaigns for two elections, where they reached out and we did content for them, or we were able to partner and do some things. But
Yeah.
I see how that works.
Yeah.
I think that's funny. I tell my mom, she's like, "You doing what for the Democratic?" Dude? Nah, I'm like, yo, they called him. They just wanted to.
And mom, if you're paying attention to this show, also recognize that by having your son in that position, it's only further in exposing his talents and his skills and his value to people who may not be familiar with him if they didn't learn about him through some type of political process. So, you know,
it's different. It's different.
elect me as your next, I don't know, non-political, pro-business advocate for why hip-hop needs to have more relevance in government. I'll take all your votes today.
Yeah,
But,
no, we definitely need. I mean, we definitely need more artists in the public sector. I guess you
Yeah.
know where people are we're able to creatively affect change. You know what I mean, and produce the content that the people need to see to get the messages they need to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's part of my motivation for this, honestly,
Yeah.
because some artists, for obvious reasons, need management. Some artists, maybe not so much, okay?
I need management.
You need management? Are you
Definitely.
putting it out there right now? You soliciting?
Yeah, managers, y'all call me, man. Call me, hit me up, man. I'm trying to find some people to figure out. Yo, I'll just throw you my phone, and you can manage that joint. And if you can handle that for a day, yo, you might be hired. No, I'm joking.
But real, like so sometimes I guess being a little bit older probably than some of the artists that I'm speaking to, or even some of the people that are listening, I feel like when I may be giving a little bit more professionalism to a person who needs to be elevated, or just given a voice, an opportunity, because a lot of artists a lot of them are in studio and a lot of them record music, but a lot of them may not be the best communicators. And this situation can sometimes be an experience in giving them guidance and coaching and mentorship and development, because it's great to be able to produce quality music, but it's important to also be able to communicate with people on behalf of letting them know who you are. 'Cause that in
Yeah.
itself can build more
You
fans.
definitely have to be able to talk your way into situations, or just be able to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I
some
mean-
people just don't know how to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, and
and you gotta switch them gears when you gotta switch them gears, and that's what this is all about. Like, it's
Yeah.
not, you can't just be, one way. You have to be able to approach, because it's thousands of different people you're gonna need to speak to.
Yeah.
and you don't know how communication is gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, I want to, again, before as we transition, we at the halfway mark here in the show, as we transition, I just want to go back to the when I was sharing with you how I see you guys as a collective group, and it's honestly been a contributor to giving me inspiration for doing this, because there needs to be more people doing what I'm doing right now, like in journaling the process.
Absolutely.
On behalf of how hip hop is more than just rap. It's more than just art. I mean, it's a cultural. It
involves everyone.
Yeah, I consider this a culture and society podcast. Even though I put a lot of emphasis on art, I can't help it because I'm from hip hop culture.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk to different people. But I want to journal the process for what's happening in this Richmond community, all the way to the water. All the way to wherever we are destined to be. Like, let Virginia be just as popular of a place where people come for music as people go West Coast to California.
Yeah,
Let it
but
be.
But they do though. Like,
Well, they
Virginia, people still and have always and will always come to Virginia, whether then it's known or it's in super secret, but this happens all the time. There are artists, like major artists, probably right now in Richmond recording their whole album, and we may not even know what's happening, but it could be on the north side somewhere. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Those stories need to be told. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think if people knew that these certain artists were flying in and staying in Richmond for like 2 and 3 weeks out of the year,
and I'd be
to
there,
do
right?
things.
I'd be if I knew.
Well,
And
you
when I
might be
find
there,
out,
but you might find out or see them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, wonder what they're doing here, locked in some
yeah.
place on the north, and they recording a bunch of music. Like, yeah, man. It's
Well, yo,
happening.
for you artists who's coming through the city, make sure you check out the Randy Wilson podcast, the dopest hip hop podcast in Virginia, putting artists out there to the world. I'm just claiming that. But again, I'm not trying to fall into that.
Do it.
I'm not trying to fall into. Again, I don't want people to just see me as I'm not just focusing on artists. It's just, you know, every 3, I'm gonna probably go 3 hip hop, 3 artists. Then I'm a boom. 'Cause we got a princess coming on the show here in a couple of weeks, and then you know, so we're gonna diversify it. I feel like, particularly for all my audience that like to follow artists, particularly brothers, they're gonna definitely peep the show that comes with the princess. You know what I'm saying? So, got to diversify, broaden, but then get back to the core.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's. I want to transition this and talk about a couple things here. First off, who are you listening to right now?
Right now, like listening to Benny the Butcher, and that's just, you know, because I'm entertained by the Griselda thing right now. But who am I listening to? J. Cole.
Something
right now.
Something new, or just J. Cole period.
Just J. Cole period.
Okay.
Like I've been on the way. Actually, I was listening to For Your Eyes Only. When I walked in the door, I had to cut my phone off. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? But like,
we need to see you down in Dreamville.
Yeah, I definitely shout out to Dreamville. Shout out to Cole. A lot of people don't know this. I was born in Fayetteville too.
Okay.
So that's, you know,
So we both North Carolina babies then.
Yeah, it came out. Well, I don't know anything about North Carolina though. I was just born at Fort Bragg.
Gotcha.
So
Vietnam.
yeah, so
Some ballers that come out of Fayetteville. When I was coming up in high school playing basketball in North Carolina, like Fayetteville had some athletes for real.
Word? Well, yeah, that's what's up.
I don't know if it's Fayetteville 71st or 20. I think it's 71st to school, but yeah, they had some ballers in Fayetteville.
But yeah, man, I've been listening to a lot of Cole. You know, I think Cole, Kendrick, and many others represent that rap I like on a high level. Yeah. And I listen, you know, it's like studying the greats. I still listen, you know what I mean? I still listening to Jay-Z, like Reasonable Doubt every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think of these records, like I think of like all the hip hop I've ever listened to, but when I think of current time and some of the artists I would mirror myself after, as far as like, you know, how I would like my career to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to dudes like Cole and Kendrick, but mainly Cole right now. Just I could ease. It's a good vibe.
I could see you guys on the same track. That'd be
I
good.
would love to do a record with Cole.
That'd be good.
I would love to do plenty of records with
We need to make that happen. We need to figure out a way to make that happen. And, you know, we just putting it out there in the universe because.
Yeah, I think it's out there. I think it.
Well, obviously it's out.
I think we just did it. Put the order out there. You know?
Yeah, and it's out there, and one of his label mates obviously know who you are. What's her name?
Oh yeah. I got something special for that too.
Yeah.
I got something special for that too. So.
We may have some music coming. I could definitely see an insert from that. Yeah. I'm just speaking this stuff. I'm thinking it.
Yeah,
so,
it's already on order.
Once we
speak it, it's on order.
There we go.
On the way.
There we go. Who do you feel like is a Richmond unsung hero in the hip hop scene right now? Who's hot and is just not getting their recognition like maybe they should? Forever who he say, this is your time, bro. Or sis.
I'm trying to give me a second to think.
All right.
I normally don't answer.
I'll tell you what. Think of. All right. You know, you don't have to.
I will say
or you can.
that.
Or let me rephrase the question. Give me 2 or 3 artists that right now that you feel like are definitely putting their foot in the ground heavy on the Richmond scene. And I'm not an artist, and I don't want to talk about Mutant Academy because they clearly are evidently doing some strong work. So let's exclude them. Let's exclude AGM. Let's exclude Illa. I mean, these people, let's exclude Noah.
So let's
talk about someone
that's
maybe
what
who's...
I'm saying. I had to think about some homies that I'm working with and people don't really know
let's
about.
give them some shine.
So let me think about. Let me think about. I want to shout out my dog Young Sums.
Okay.
That's a special brother right there.
Young Sums?
Yeah, Young Sums. He put out a project called Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's sometimes when you listen to an artist or when you meet an artist, I'm not saying you could, you know, by the first song, you know what they on, but like, I think when I first listened to Homie, I would see him on the battle scene, and he was really talented. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of respect for what he was doing on the battle scene off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to working with him musically, I was even more impressed by like just the way he approaches records and like the professionalism behind how he was doing his thing. So, yeah, I want to shout out Young Sums, man. I think he got some special music, and he's just trying to break.
What's his
through.
IG? Is it SOMES? Because I see that.
SUMs.
Okay.
I think it's the real Young Sums
Okay.
or something like that.
We're gonna make
I'm
sure
sorry.
we cut this up for him.
But yeah, he got a project called Mayflower out on all digital platforms, and but it's a good project, man. It's a EP.
Mm-hmm.
It's quicker to the point, but yeah, he's one of those dudes.
Yeah, when we go offline, I'm gonna get you to help me find him because I want to make sure that we cut this up for him. That's part of it, man. The part of the whole show is to empower and highlight, and we focus on the artists and the environment around
Think
them.
about somebody else, another unsung. I shout out my homie Melodic too. Melodic, he's a DJ.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a producer. And we've been working on his rap album.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and it's good. It's been slow cooking.
Mm-hmm.
He's a special brother too.
I know he did a lot behind the table, but I didn't know he rapped.
Yeah. That's actually how we even got connected.
Yeah.
It was just like I didn't know. I knew he was getting into the game, but he's taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
He's cooked up a really solid body of work.
Okay.
And I think as far as an unsung hero, he's very reliable. He definitely helps out with me. When I'm at the lab, I see Melodic probably like 4 times a week.
Okay.
And I know he helps out with radio.
Yeah.
And I know he helps out with Rap Elite.
I mean, for those of y'all don't know, like a lot of times if you at a hip hop show in Richmond, it's gonna be the brother behind the table.
Mm-hmm.
He's everywhere. He's highly visible.
And so definitely him. And I want to give another shout out to like unsung heroes in the music community. I want to shout out like homies like Hip Hop Henry,
Yeah.
and Big Rich and them,
Yeah.
and Cheats,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
y'all for like taking time, Alex, Gigi Broadway,
Yeah.
Bryce,
Yeah.
my homie Bryce, man, that run Mid-Atlantic Gems, Black Lick, all y'all
Definitely
that
Black Lick,
actually
yeah.
take the time to deal with artists,
Yeah.
and see the value and seeing what we have as special, and taking the time to expose us to y'all platforms.
Yeah.
Y'all are for real the unsung heroes.
I appreciate that, man.
You know what I'm
let me I share this with people. I posted this one time. Like, I feel like everybody in this world is an artist.
Yeah.
They just don't know it always. It's like, but you're creating your life, and that's the most beautiful thing that you can ever create. What you put into every single day is what's contributing to your legacy. You know, I used to sing, and I was a theater kid and did music and Camelot and all that stuff.
Oh,
I
that's
come
tight.
from that art background. I still can sing, and I got a couple bars on the low. I just, we're not ready to come back out yet. I don't know.
I think everybody can rap.
Yeah, I might join my team at on the Rap Elite if they need me to come off the bench and provide some veteran leadership. Shout out to my team, yo. But that's part of what motivated me to get into podcasting, because I figured, like, look, let me just get behind the mic. Let me just start behind the mic and just see what happens in regard to how this can evolve and develop, man. So I definitely appreciate that, because I think it's really respectful for him to say that, because most of the time, people like he named just now, and whether it's, small market or big market, they don't really get their respect. There's a lot of time that DJs are not really getting the respect. You know what I'm saying? DJs don't really break
shout out
albums
to the
anymore.
DJs.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
internet.
one more person, my
yeah.
man Bryce, that runs Henny and Coke. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, and all the homies that been grinding out here to like give us a platform and give us a space to use our voice and reach different
Octane.
people. Like,
Yeah.
Octane. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of, but it's so important though.
Yeah, thank you,
know what I'm
man.
saying?
Thank you. And shout out to RVA Rap Elite for what they're doing, period, in regard to giving not
Rap
only
Elite is
opportunities
gonna be special this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great ideas floating
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
a lot more. I think it's just gonna become a thing where we're gonna really make it something more than just people coming into rap, which is evolving.
Yeah.
You know, we giving out belts.
Are you a judge this year? This season?
I might judge this season. I might do some judging this
Listen,
season.
hey, let me go ahead and get let me make sure you know my team real quick, because my team is, I had the 6th pick last night in the draft.
Yeah, I was supposed to come to the draft.
I got King Fizzle. Well, number 1 pick went to Vintage.
Okay.
Number
Vintage.
2 went to Basic. Number 3 went to Will Young. After that, I think OZ might have been 4. OZ was 4 or 5, and then I forget, but I was 6, and I picked King Fizzle. I think I got a sleeper at number 15 with D. Ross the Boss.
Okay, nah. D. Ross is nice. I worked on his album.
Man, look, man, because as far as, honestly, he was in my top 7 just based off looking at his IG. And I mean, I feel like when you looking at who you want on your team, I'm not really looking at music. I'm looking at showmanship. I'm looking at bars. I'm looking at,
He definitely is.
I'm thinking about that acapella situation. If you get to the 3rd, I'm thinking about those things. So then 3K Too Hot is my 3rd pick. He a young guy. I think he's 15 years old, first time in it, but he could bring the youth out. So I mean, I feel like I need it as a curveball, So I'm gonna go ahead and I just want you to go ahead and start checking my guys out, because I know you could be scouting.
Definitely.
Now look, I try. Hey, but check this out though. So I switched it up on them last night. Like listen, Radio was talking in the show in the chat group about maybe the artists have some advantage. Like, we ain't all artists here in regard to coaching their teams. So I tried to hit him last night with a curveball, because Magic Johnson gave me a phone call, as I was in my GM seat. And he's like, look, man, since I'm no longer connected to a team anymore, right. I got a person who wants to jump in. So Trademark, he entered in, but he ain't on my team. But I think Trademark entered in. Radio said, we can't have that. Everyone needs a fair opportunity to have that pick. But Trademark jumped in, so I think this next one is going to be crazy.
All right.
I want to go back, though. I want to go back to the season finale.
Okay.
Man, I want to ask, so honestly, I don't agree with the winning. I don't think y'all should have won. I don't. Like, the battle cycle. That was crazy. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think. Right. Well, I'm not going to tell you all why. I'm not trying to be academics out here and create any tension with the rap community. I love y'all all. I'm not going to do that. But, well, I just think from a showmanship and a skill, I mean, I thought first off, it was great. It was phenomenal. Yeah. It was phenomenal. Like, I was super impressed with some people. Like, Kane really, I feel like he came with it. I feel like Illa came with it. Sty came with it. You came with it. A lot of people came with it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to ask you particularly, like, how was it when Sty came at you, like, hard?
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
I was, you know what's crazy? Like, I'm so removed from, like, competitive rapping, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy it, yo. Because I know, that's the thing, yo. No one means this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's art.
So it's actually just art. And actually, I was sleeping
entertaining.
I was sleeping on the whole thing, because I'm like, I thought we was just kicking like 24s. I didn't know we was supposed to like really go at.
Yeah.
And like the day of, everybody's like, yeah, Mike, I heard everybody got bars for you. I was like, what? I was like, damn, I ain't even. And Cole was like, I told you, yo. I told you, because we was writing our joint at the crib like that morning.
Oh, man.
So she's like, nah, I'm about to go dribble left. I said, nah, man, I'm gonna keep my.
She did. Shout out to Cole, because Cole went
went
crazy.
She went ham. She went ham. That's like, she was at my crib right now. I just left her. She was at the crib, man. But nah, that joint was crazy, man. I don't know. I think Cole won it for us, yo. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought from the beginning that Cole and Sty were the wild cards for both. That's what I thought at the beginning. And when I looked at the lineup, I thought they were the reason why I say
Cole
wild cards.
is a monster.
I mean, no. I'm not saying she's not a monster. The reason why I'm saying she's a wild card is because she is a monster and she's a female monster. Yeah. So I feel like from the audience standpoint, like, she can rap. She can rap with 99% of all rappers, male or female. I'm not discriminating. But the fact that she's a female and she does it, females who rap like she rap, they put themselves in a whole different category, because as men, we respect that. So I thought that's why I put her in that wild card, because I knew that she was going to come heavy. But I also also felt the style was as well. And I think the style came
went
crazy.
Like, what could you expect? Like, that's what he's known for.
I know.
And,
I ain't gonna lie though. I didn't expect it to be quite like it was though.
Yeah. I actually, when it got going, I was like, oh man, I was slipping. Like, I got to call sleep. I was just like, because I've been so peaceful, man. I'm like, I didn't even think it was going down like that. But for real, it just reminded me of us growing up. We was doing that, like that same people, some of the same people. We would be at Illa crib, rapping and doing it. So we've been doing that our whole lives for it.
Yeah.
So that was like being
shout
in
out
the
to Illa.
crib.
Illa's was dope too.
Yeah, that was. We all come from the same rap school. All
Yeah.
of us. Me, Radio, Illa, Nick, Joey Gallows, man. Oh man, so many more I can name, but I'll just speak on those because we all been knowing each other and rapping around and with and together. 20 years.
Yeah.
Yo.
Wow.
Over 20 years.
That was. I definitely wanted to bring that up and highlight that because I thought that was the best. That was the best Rap Elite ever. That whole and I think it just really initiated the beginning of what's to come this season.
Yeah, definitely.
It's getting better and better.
So many ideas. I think we're stable on the location now because, the location changes obviously weren't like on us. We had to, roll with the punches on that. But thankfully, we have a location that accommodates everyone appropriately. If you're there, if you can't fit, you can't fit. But hey, I think everybody just has a good time, and I think what we plan to do is make this a good thing. Like, not just, I'm coming to hang out. Nah, we're going to make this more interactive. We're going to make it so that when you there, you feel like you're a part of something, whether you rap or not. Like, you're going to be a part of the voting, the part of how we pick these MVPs and how we pick the champions of the seasons. Because we if you know Radio, man, Radio loves this type of stuff. Like, he loves these types of setups. And but the integrity involved with what we're trying to produce, it's going to have to go back to the people. So I think we want to create a culture where the people also, support the artists that are in front of them. Because not only is the artist doing their thing for the Rap Elite, but it's artists that are going to be performing for the first time on that stage. Like, and that's the stage that they have in Richmond. Like,
Shout out RVA Rap Elite. Shout out to the Dark Room.
Shout out to the homies. For sure.
Yo, so as we wrapping up to the close here, let's just try. We're gonna try to help our audience get familiar with things about you that they may not know. Okay. Try to dig deep a little bit here. Are you on one of those super modern day millennial diets? Like, are you still eating meat?
Yeah.
Because everybody's switching it up right now and changing.
No, I definitely have my run with being vegan and vegetarian and pescatarian, but like, I do eat meat, but like, I definitely way more conscious about eating now than I was like 10 years ago, for sure. My
homeboy in New York told me the other day that, because I went pescatarian for like 60 days, and it wasn't hard for me. No. It was just that but what was hard was that I didn't supplement like where I was getting iron from. So I started having these really bad headaches and get really cold. It just was like, man, I started, they say this is healthy, but I don't feel good. And I wasn't getting the...
Right. And that's the only thing you got to learn with removing certain things from your diet. You have to replace those things, boy. You're going to have deficiencies.
Yeah, man. I was having them.
Understand why.
I was having them badly, man. So he told me, he said, look, this is what I do, man. Monday through... during the week, I don't eat meat.
Right.
But on the weekend, I eat whatever I want. Like, that's a good balance. Eat a cheeseburger or something on the Saturday, whatever you want to do. Absorb some of that alcohol. So rock with that.
I think meat in general was to be consumed sparingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I eat fruit constantly around the clock. I eat vegetables. I actually grew up enjoying those things anyway. So it's like going. I could go 2-3 days and not even think about the fact that I hadn't had any meat. Like, so it's not even it's easier for me to. I can imagine if somebody didn't like a lot of vegetables. I love all vegetables. All fruits for the most part. I mean, I don't think there's a fruit I don't like, but You know, so I can eat it. I can
Yeah.
eat soup, vegetable soups
Yeah.
and salads every day.
Do you think that marijuana will get justice in Virginia and it'll be legalized
Yes.
in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think it'll begin to get. We'll start to see justice on marijuana this year.
Really?
In 2020.
The year of vision.
Yeah, we'll start to see it. I mean, it might not be in the best form, but I think it'll be decriminalized this year. I'm almost positive. I'm almost 100% positive it'll decrim this year. But it'll come with those stipulations that'll still
Yeah.
impact black
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
we gotta, evolve the code, evolve the law. But I think the first step is like a step. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I think it's it should be. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I am pro marijuana. Like I'm definitely believe in it. So
Do you okay, so you a single brother, married brother? Single? I'm not trying to get too particular in that. I'll tell you, let me skip that.
Yeah.
Childhood.
Nah, I'm not like
You're not married.
nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So, who is your celebrity fantasy crush? And you could be married and have them too. I know when I ask that question, I start getting into people's, relationships that they'd be like, like we ain't gonna get on the air and talk about that. You know I got janks.
Nah, not one of them dudes either. Celebrity joint. Yo, I'm still a fan of like the classic, like Nia Long.
Yeah,
yo.
Nia's still getting. She's like 4-0 the last 4 shows.
Rihanna's. Nah, yeah. Like, I say like Rihanna's like top level.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
celebrity. When I think of celebrity crush, like, yo, check this out. So, she used to, when she was back with Chris Brown, I used to go to the same gym with Chris Brown.
Yeah, the American Family.
The American
yeah,
Family
I used to
on
see it too.
Mechanicsville.
Yeah.
So one day, I'm on the treadmill. Me and my homie Rad. It's Rad. It's me. It's an open treadmill. And it's this woman, right? And she looked like Rihanna. But Rihanna, most people don't know this, but she's very, very light skinned. Like her skin is very, it's not as dark as you think it is on television. Like the television, I think, or just how she's bronze.
They bronze her out with the makeup and they go.
Yeah, but she actually has lighter skin than you think.
Yeah.
Yo, so I'm tripping. They're showing. I'm right in front of I'm in the front treadmills and the TVs are in front of me, and they're actually talking about Rihanna on the TV.
Wow.
So she's running. We're not really paying attention, but I look over and I'm like, ha, and I'm laughing. I say, yo, shorty look like a light skinned Rihanna. Yo, I ran beside Rihanna for like 25 minutes. Said nothing to her.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it was her. We go downstairs, right? There's this kid that runs up to us and was like, yo, Chris Brown is in the gym and Rihanna is over there. And we look at each other like, yo, that was Rihanna.
Yeah, that's great.
Saying, and then so she came back. We looked at her. She was like my height. She had like a pink BlackBerry. I remember that. And she split right between me and my homie. And we looked at each other and was like, yo. And we were sad boys all the way home.
Yeah.
We was right there.
You was hating that you didn't
Chris
kick
was
it the game.
downstairs. We could have.
Yeah, could have chopped it up.
You know what I'm saying?
You could have got in there, man.
I could have been. Yo, guess what, yo?
It was evident that Chris wasn't for you.
I had 20 minutes. I was right here.
I seen her too, man. I saw her at the American Family at Short Pump and Chris. We was in there playing basketball. And I was surprised. They were just running around with no security.
Chilling,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I blew my shot, but
Well, I mean, hey, Rihanna though, you know, we still here.
Nah, but yeah, I got a lot of respect for her.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else, Mike. I think we had that time, man. It's been a pleasure to have hip hop royalty in the Randy Wilson podcast. I guess my final question for you, Mike, which I think you've already done it, is, but can you let the audience know why you rock with the Randy Wilson podcast?
Yo, I rock with the Randy Wilson podcast because you getting down with the people, and the people getting down with you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. So I can plug that. Yo, we're gonna see Mike Millions very soon. I know there's music coming.
Yeah, new music coming, new shows coming, new everything coming, because that's how I'm coming.
I hope y'all come back with the Late Bloomers podcast too.
Yo, that might come back. You know what I'm saying? It was an idea, and I think we didn't realize that many people actually appreciated just hearing us chop it up and giggle and shit. So I think that's something that's gonna come back.
I still listen to old episodes.
Yeah, I think we're just thinking about how to do it and how to keep it fun for everyone.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, make it special. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, yo, it's definitely been an honor to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me, dog.
Thank you, sir. If you have any recommendations in regard to things that we can do to be supportive for you or the label, and as far as let us know, man. We're sitting here, like I said, we're trying to journal, write, video, the journey.
I think you're doing all the right things. I say keep collecting, collect as much as you can.
Yeah.
Organize your stuff as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because you never know what piece of information gonna be worth gold to
Yeah.
you down the line.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you don't know what could happen to any of us as artists where some of this information might be useful
Yeah.
down the line for
Yep.
something. You know, y'all are holding on to like vital pieces
Yeah.
and capturing vital pieces and facets of like black diamonds
Yeah.
that we all are. So
Yeah.
y'all have to like, you know, do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Protect it and like organize it.
Yeah.
Become the best at it.
Yeah.
Like I want someone to be like, I can't wait till someone is like, yo, I'm the king of the archive of Richmond. Like I
Yeah.
want to know that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if they got it, that's a lot of good information.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know there's some people that are like that'll strip these interviews off the net. Like they'll watch them and strip them, like record them somehow, keep them. Like I know people that do that with my stuff. So
Okay.
it's like there are people archiving, but you guys are extremely important. Like when they have documentaries on people, man. I just watched a documentary on Richard Pryor like last night, and I'm just thinking about the collection of information and how these people could tell these stories. They can't tell these stories without, you know, people like y'all sitting down with the artists and asking them like straight up questions or, you know, getting more insight. So y'all is important too.
Appreciate it. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna remain consistent. Like I said, we're doing it for Virginia.
Yeah,
we're doing it for hip hop, period. All right. So again, this has been episode 26 of the Randy Wilson podcast with the Emperor, Mike Millions. Stay tuned.
I'm just Mike.
Stay tuned. You're gonna see us next pull up in the 757. We got some interesting things coming your way. So stay tuned.
Shout out to Norfolk.
Yep.
Berkeley, Diggs Town. Norfolk State.
All y'all. Peace.
Another dirty money hoe, not my draws. Weed got me moving slower than my draw. I'm unapologetically raw.
I still feel limitless. Water with lemon juice. A king, I really seen it.